Just completed week 3 of living in my car to pay down my debt, and there were some lessons learned. There were some interesting things that happened, good and, oh crap, that's not good. One of the very good things is I've got this steady set of places that I can sleep and feel safe. And by the way, there's a hint. It's where a lot of truck drivers go. And by the way, there's several places truck drivers go, and by the way, give respect to truck drivers. Those guys bust their butt and put so much on the line, and compared to what they get paid, it's ridiculous. They deserve a pay raise. I have, as a homeless man living in a car, I have more respect for truck drivers today than I did when I lived in a house. It's amazing. It's amazing what happens. And one of the positive things that has happened in this last week is I've been humbled a lot about people's jobs. The guy that cleans the toilet, the people that cook our food, the transport drivers, the guy that cleans out all the trash cans at a gas station. Oh God, I mean, you just get so much. You learn to have so much respect for these folks because they do all the crappy jobs for absolutely crappy pay. Okay, and I got so much respect for them. Another one of the really this is really crappy lessons is on the side hustle apps. So when I figured everything out and I did my math, I thought, okay, if I can work 6 hours a night, 6 nights a week, that's 32 hours, if I do my math right in my head, I should be able to make $150 a night minus gas. So I can make $600-700 a night take home. And, $600-700 a week take home. And if I did my math right and I paid all my bills and everything else and made all the minimum payments on credit cards, I could pay off $1,400 a month plus whatever extra came out of my other YouTube channels or came out of my job. So I figured I could probably pay close to $2,000 a month of my debt off to start until work picked up and until some other things picked up, because summer kind of sucks for the apps. When the NFL season starts, that's when like Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Instacart, that's when the money's made, is during the fall and winter, because the NFL and college football. So you can work less and make more money, while in the summertime, you really gotta hustle, because it's not as much local activity where you go bar to bar to bar to bar to bar, sports bar, pub to pub to pub to restaurant, etc. Okay. So this is going to take longer than I thought it would. A lot longer than I thought it would. I thought I could get half of my debt paid off by Christmas. I might be in this car a lot longer than I thought I would be. But you never know, things could change, work could pick up, even with our economy. I mean, I'm going to tell you, being a homeless person, the one oh crap lesson I learned is our economy under its current administration in the White House is garbage. Okay? And what I've learned is the people that are at the middle top of income in our country are blind to it, because you're not on the ground. I went to Walmart to get toilet paper just the other day, just a roll of toilet paper. There's a lady that is a teacher. I got to talk to her. She wouldn't talk to me on camera because I wanted to like interview her on camera, because she was just like this emotional wreck. I want her to tell her story. And I respect her. I didn't do it because obviously I'm not one of those guys that's just going to shove a camera in somebody's face. But she was crying because she was trying to choose between socks for herself and loaves of bread for her kids. I mean, it was an obvious choice. She's going to buy the food. But this is a teacher with 12 years of tenure, and she can't even afford to buy socks for herself. Okay. I talked to another guy that is in construction. Okay. He's making about 70% of what he did under Obama and Trump. And I'm not a political person, but just listening to these stories. Like he said, just talking to him, he said from about 2011 to about 2019, 2020, he was making really good money. You know, now it's been cut down. He goes, ever since Biden got into office, it's been cut down. So I think a lot of what's going on in our world is you got the top 10% of earners in our country, and they don't see what's going on with the 60, 70% of regular people. Doesn't matter about skin color, it doesn't matter about culture, it doesn't matter about religion, sexual orientation, gender identification. None of that stuff determines any of that. It's everybody's a working class citizen, has a tough time paying for their groceries. And it's crazy. And I thought about it in my own terms. Holy crap, man. I can't even afford a place to live and pay down my debt. I have to choose between paying down my debt and having a roof over my head. Isn't that crazy? I thought about that all this week. Like, that is just an absolute crazy scenario. Now, I choose to pay down my debt because I know that in the end of the day, it will free up cash flow and it'll free up credit lines for me to continue my YouTube journey on my other channels. Totally worth it, okay? I know it's worth doing this. I know it is. As much as I have my emotional moments where I'm depressed or where I'm upset, I remind myself, I have a goal. I have it in my phone. Here's the goal. We're gonna hit the goal. We're gonna make this worth it, and we're gonna freaking celebrate it when it's done. We're not gonna let the President of the United States of America affect our goals. We're gonna make it freaking happen. We're gonna make this happen. I'm gonna make this happen. That's the mentality. But it's still humbling. It's still very humbling to listen to these people's stories. And it humbles you as a human being to know and I got to cut people out of my life. I cut another person I talked to over the phone. I cut him out of my life yesterday because just negative. Of course, none of my friends know what I'm doing. Nobody knows what I'm doing. I kept away from my job. I've kept it. Nobody has any damn clue what's going on. My wife doesn't know. My kids don't know. They're going to be up with my mom up in Oregon. Yeah. But the really good thing, the real positive thing, is I know I can do this. At first, I was skeptical whether I could do it or not. I'm just turned 40 years old. And I was real skeptical about whether I could do this or not, but I know I can. I've got the car down to the bare minimum. I'm no longer, as you can tell, see in the background, it's not overflowed with crap. And I got a real shot at this. So follow along, because the next challenge is coming up this week. It's gonna be fun.